Good morning. Hope all is well with all of you. I have a little bit of oils history I'm going to do, but first I'm going to talk about addiction. At least once a month, I'm going to do, and I'll try to do it at the first of the month so I'll remember. Um, and I might talk about addiction more than once a month, but for sure, at least once a month I will, because I'm an addict. I'll be sober if I make it to May. I'll have 40 years sobriety. And the only drug I used that was so long ago was pot. But I do know that I am an addict, and that if I took anything, I would be addicted. And what brought this on today was they brought up there's a number of drugs that they're using now for weight loss. And if you're not an addict, don't even listen to this because it wouldn't matter for you. But if you have an addiction and you're trying to stay sober, this is why I believe, and just recently, a special friend of mine with over 40 years relapsed. And I think a lot of times what happens, we get older and then we start getting different ailments. And then we get on some drug that'll cause us to relapse. One doctor, even because I tell all my doctors, any hospital I go to, any place I go, that I'm an addict because I am. And I don't want to relapse because of some medicine. Now, sometimes, and that's why I got into essential oils, or one of the reasons, because I want to do things natural if I can. But I had a food addiction too. And, I just lost 22 pounds here in the last, I think, 5 months. I wish I'd kept the date and I didn't. But at any rate, I, I I lost 22 pounds, and what I did was the 12-hour fast. I didn't take any medicines. I didn't even use essential oils this time because we do have oils that will help you lose weight. But somehow that didn't work for me because it didn't help my addiction. Once I gave up the alcohol and the pot, then I started eating. Overeat. Of course, I ate all my life, but I started overeating. So, this is just a horrible thing. Weight is a horrible thing because we can't be as healthy as we want to be if we're overweight either. So, you don't have to listen to me, even if you are an addict. You can do what you want. But honestly, I truly believe in my heart of hearts that many people with a lot of years relapse because they start on meds. Not all meds are addictive either, so you would have to find out. Ask your doctors. Let them know. I know one doctor told me that ibuprofen was addictive, and that's on the shelf. That was years ago. I said, "Geez, I didn't know that." And of course, once I started on oils, I didn't look to use a lot of that stuff on the market anymore because oils. Oh, we've got several oils with doTERRA that help with pain. And as long as you're using a good oil from a good company, not some junk that's got additives to it, because it won't help you. We need pure oils. So just think about that. If you're an addict, please don't go jumping on the bandwagon here to lose weight with some drugs. They mean well, and the drugs work, I'm sure. And they're okay for non addicts. But if you're an addict that's clean and sober and you want to stay clean and sober, please be careful. Make sure you find out whether they're addictive or not. And then if you're an addict and you're not clean and sober, I can help you. I've got a program. If you don't have insurance, which quite often we don't, and you can't go into a facility, uh, I can help you with a 2-week program from your home, just like this. We'll go on Messenger, and it's 2 weeks, and it's 200 up front. You just don't have it, but I don't want to start something and then we can't finish because of a lack of money. You can borrow the money or whatever if you don't have it. And a lot of you are working. We're not all. I was homeless, jobless. My kids wouldn't talk to me. I mean, I was in bad shape. Of course, now I've got lots of love and lots of people, family, and lots of other people around me. And so I'm real happy. The program has really done me a lot of good, and I'm real grateful. And I do walk a spiritual life now. I don't just drink and smoke pot and hang around bars. I don't hang around bars at all. Sometimes I go to a bar if there's a reason to. There's a baby shower going on or my family's going. But I haven't had a drink in almost 40 years. May 18th will make it 40 years. And I live as natural a lifestyle as possible. And because I just think that's better for us addicts. I think it's better for everybody, but especially us. So that's enough of that. That's enough preaching at you all. What I'm going to do here, I've got some stuff I wrote down actually, um, talking about embalming because I won't remember. You know, my memory at 78. Uh, in the Bible days, when they embalmed, they used essential oils, and I wrote down here the oils that they were using. And if you really want to know, you can contact me because my phone number and my website I'll have on, and you can call, text, or just look at the website and send a question. Um, but there are several oils that will help, and there's different oils to help, and I've got that a list of that elsewhere. There's several oils that will help. This oil will help one addiction, and another oil will help another addiction. But you need more than just oils. You need the desire to stop using. So, and the embalming, by the way, I wanted to add to this. Um, when they on when they open up one of these pyramids, they can still smell the essential oils. And quite often, if people have put essential oils in their grave and all, you can smell it for many, many years, even hundreds of years later. So I don't know. Yeah, I think if my dogs die before I do, I think I'll put oils in an urn and see how long that would last. I don't know if it would last as long. If you're opening and shutting it, is it going to last 500 years? I don't know. But I know that they do. The odors last in the pyramids. Oh, yeah. They put myrrh in wine way back in the Bible days, and that was so that people um, could be comfortable. Like say the Roman soldiers, they're sleeping outdoors. Remember, those were different times. Now I know that sometimes in war, soldiers might have to sleep outdoors, but as a rule, they don't. And um, so that was for soldiers. That was for the young people that herded sheep. Apparently, if you wrap up in a blanket, you have wine and myrrh, and you wrap up in a blanket, apparently it helps keep you more comfortable. And then, of course, Christ was given myrrh. And I don't think it actually said that in the Bible, but the book that I read, uh, most of the time they did put myrrh in the wine, whoever. So we assume that that was done so that Christ would be more comfortable. Nomadic tribes used to burn frankincense and myrrh. And then there were the two Bible verses that I've mentioned before, Ezekiel 47:12 and Revelation 22:2. God's intent for us to use plants for our medicines. That's not the exact words. And take responsibility for our own health. Now, and this is from the man that wrote this book. Um, I forgot to bring the book in. At any rate, God wants us to be responsible for our own health. So we want to eat healthy, exercise somewhat, um, and we don't have to be health nuts and exercise 3 hours a day or anything. But if you took two 20-minute walks with your dogs, that's something. And He wants he wants to guide us to being healthy and being spiritual, and not necessarily look to the medical profession or anybody else. Again, we're not against doctors. I'm going to the doctor tomorrow. I have my yearly test. You know, I can't diagnose myself. I can't give myself all these tests. And last year, if I hadn't done that, I didn't realize I was sleeping all the time and tired. And I've told this story before, so you may have heard it in one of the other videos. But I was just sleeping all the time, and I never did that in my entire life. I didn't have any real pain or anything. I was though coughing. My daughter kept saying, "Why are you coughing?" I said, "I'm in the desert. It's dusty." It didn't dawn on me because I didn't have any pain or anything at that time. If it got bad enough and I had pain, that would be one thing. I was having pain in the stomach. I went for that. The doctor did say I had a hiatal hernia, but she said, "Don't even worry about that because I noticed there was just a small part of your lung showing, and I noticed there's a growth, and it's either cancer or valley fever. So you need to take care of that first." So I did. And as I mentioned before, it took 6 months. That was the second month. The first month I went in to see her about the pain in the stomach, and the second month I got the report. And it takes so long out here. We have wonderful doctors, and I have the most wonderful insurance and everything. They're so good to old people out here. I'm telling you, it's amazing. But there's too many people and not enough doctors, so it takes for or people taking the test. So it takes forever to get anything done. So then that was February. Then March, April, May, I saw I saw a doctor, and then I saw twice. I saw his nurse practitioner, and on the second time she said, "Well, you do have valley fever," but she said it's drying up. And every time I went to see any of them, all these 6 times, the 5 times before this last one, I said, "Well, I guess I'll just use my oils for lung problems." And when she said it was drying up, I said, "Well, I guess I just keep using my oils." And she said, every time she said yes. And that's I was already being healed by the oils. And I used my own brain and I prayed because I thought they can't figure out what's wrong. This is taking too long. And by that point, I already was not sleeping all day. I was sleeping more than I had, say, the year prior. But now, I'm 78 years old. I take short naps. I take, like 10-minute naps a couple times a day, and I'm happy with that. But to sleep all day, that didn't make me happy. I wanted to be somewhat productive. I don't want to be as busy as I was when I was young, but I want to be somewhat productive. I could take these off now. I'm not reading. I don't want to sleep all day. I don't know about you, but I don't think it's fun to sleep all day. So, and I don't mind sleeping more than I did when I was younger. And I don't do much in the evening. I very rarely go out in the evening. I get tired, and I watch TV, read, um, you know, and lay around a lot. But I don't want to lay around all day. Maybe you do, and if you do, that's okay. If that's what you want, but I don't. I'm so grateful that God has given us brains. And I'm grateful for the medical profession. doTERRA has 45 doctors on staff, so we're not against doctors. But we want to use as few medications as possible. And we want to eat healthy, exercise. And then I've been on this 12-hour fast every day. And in about 4 or 5 months, I've lost 22 pounds. And I have my two daughters use the 12-hour fast, and I have one of my sponsees. She's going to have 5 years sober here shortly, and she does the 12-hour fast. And I've talked to other people too, but those are the people that I know well, and I know that I think my daughters do it off and on, but my sponsee does it all the time. And I've been doing it. It was hard in the beginning because, like I said, I'm an addict. I want to be shoving something in my mouth all the time. And after about, I know after a week, and I think before a week, it got so it wasn't so bad because I just, now I'm getting used to going 12 hours without eating. And I actually go more because three mornings a week I have an early massage at 8 a.m. here, Mountain Standard Time. And I don't want to eat before I go there and, have to go to the bathroom or, I just wait till I get back. So then by the time I get back, it's an hour and a half massage. It's quarter till 10. I live just 2 miles now that I've moved from him. And then I eat because I'm hungry. And so now I'm eating a big breakfast because I'm going so many hours without eating. And breakfast seems to be the biggest meal. But my stomach has shrunk. I don't eat as much as I used to. And what's wonderful about this particular diet, if you want to call it that, is that my stomach shrunk. And for some reason, the cravings, I don't know, because I've done several food programs. I've done OA, I've done a bunch of diets over the years. I've done a lot of things. And you know what? This seems to work the best. Doesn't cost anything. In fact, it costs less because I'm eating less. And I'm just happy. I'm happy to live a natural lifestyle. And I hope and pray that those of you that might be listening on occasion will listen and do the natural lifestyle too. It's really how God wants us to live, as natural as possible. We can't live 100% natural in this world, but we can live as natural as possible, eat as natural as possible, eat as little as possible, and do a little bit of exercise. Not 5 hours a day. We don't have to be addicted to exercise either. Some people are. We just need to be sort of normal. With that, I pass, and I hope and pray that you all live a natural lifestyle. Bye bye.